What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show. We're gonna do some pick'ems today. You know, the pick'em show, the Matt Ramage pick'em show. Actually, the pick'em league. But this is the show. We're gonna do some picks, and I got some voicemail calls we're gonna take. You know what I mean? We have a comment over here waiting on us, so I want to get to that. What's up, Justin? Over on YouTube. Good evening. Go Pat, go. You know what I mean? Go Pat, go. Actually, we have the old Go, Pat, go. So the Packers are 1-0, you know, beating the Lions over here. Shocked a lot of people. Not me, you know what I mean? I picked the Packers to win that thing. So, you know, basically I'm a genius, but we're going to get some calls. Hammer the chat. What do you want to talk about? And you can get your calls in, you know what I mean? If you call right here, call in, leave a voicemail. 920-777-7165. I'm not going to get to them on this one because they're all going to be voicemails and I'm listening to beforehand. But we got 3 or 4 of them for tonight. You know what I mean? We're going to get to those, and then we're going to pick some games. You know, all the games in the NFL. I'm not sure if I'm always going to do the whole all the NFL games because some of them are stupid. I don't care about. You can kind of skip over them, but people want, I'll do them all, and then we'll you know, make our picks together, kind of like, you know what I mean? Especially people who are on my Pick'em League. But I want to give a shout to the sponsors real quick. Then we get to some more comments. So hammer the chat. Hammer the chat. I see some comments rolling in over here. But big shout to Kwik Trip being a big sponsor of the show. You're heading to Lambeau Field this season. Maybe tomorrow you're heading over to Lambeau Field. And you're not from Wisconsin. You don't know about Kwik Trip. Well, they're a fantastic gas station. They have everything that you need. They have the gas. They have the hot food waiting for you, ready for you. You know what I mean? It's the hot spot, baby. So go ahead and check out that hot spot. And they got cheese curds. They got all the stuff that you need. They got brats. They got ice. They got all the things that you need. You know what I mean? To tailgate and do it properly. So head over to Kwik Trip. And a big shout out to Kwik Trip being a great sponsor. And Nicolet Law, if you get injured, you're missing work, insurance companies are being funky with you a little bit. You know what I mean? Nicolet Law is going to make sure you get what you deserve. And they're going to do it well. You know, a great Midwestern lawyer firm. Russell Nicolet is the best, and his crew are going to take care of you. So shout out to them being great sponsors. But let's go. We got a comment. Yo, Matt, how you been, man? I've been doing pretty good. You know what I mean? The Packers had a big win the other day, and dude, I had a video like go like really big, right? I had a big it was a Cam Newton video. I should have had it ready for this. But Cam Newton said that there's no way the Packers can win. The Packers are not better than the Detroit Lions, and you can't look me straight in the face and tell me they're not. So I made a video. I took that clip, and I just crossed my eyes, and I said, is this face straight enough for you, bud? And, dude, that thing got crazy. Terrell Owens commented on it. Dude, Terrell Owens, Preston Smith, HaHa Clinton Dix, Ryan Grant, Ty Montgomery, all commented on Instagram. And some other, you know, players, I think, too. Like, there were so many comments, I couldn't even keep up with them. But Terrell Owens saw a video that I made. I mean, he was talking about Cam Newton, but I was on that video. You know what I mean? He watched the whole thing. He saw it. But that's fantastic. That was funny. That video did crazy. It was like 800,000, I think, views on Instagram and Facebook, like everywhere. It was it was good. Like, that was awesome. But anyways, we're going to get to this stuff right here. To be honest, in October, who will vote for our old buddy Rodgers on keeping it with the pack? Yeah, the Packers play. I think you're talking about the Packers play Aaron Rodgers this year. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. He's playing for the Steelers over there. We will see what happens over there. Raymundo, what's up, man? Go Pack, go from California. Hope you've been good, Matt. Blessings to you and your family. How about them Packers? The Packers. I'm excited about the Packers. Everyone trying to downplay this Packers victory over the Lions and like, well, it's only week 1. I think it's funny the people who like say it's only week 1. And they're like the Packers aren't better than the Lions. I'm like, yes, they are, because the Lion fans can talk about the last 2 years all they want. You know, Lion fans keep talking about, well, last year we swept you. Okay, well, you don't like talking about the past, Lion fans. They always tell Packer fans, whenever we say anything, don't live in the past. Well, then you don't live in the past, because if you want to talk about the past, bro, let's talk about the past. Let's talk about the all-time Packers versus Lions. They're like, well, you finally beat us. What do you mean finally? You were good for 2 years, bro. You just got good, and you're not no more. You know what I mean? You lost all your people. Packers dominated the Lions in every way that you can dominate them. They got a garbage touchdown at the end. It wasn't close. The Lions were never in any type of control of that game. Jared Goff was running for his life the whole game. So, like, dude, be jacked up about the Packers. People tell you not to. They don't want you to be. They don't want Packer fans to be happy. But I'm telling you, this Packers team is exciting. We're going to see tomorrow playing a good Washington team. I saw Washington was over there playing the Go Pack Go song. They had this going on over at the practice. They had this thing going on during their practice so that they could get ready like for the noise and whatnot at Lambeau Field. And it's going to be a good game. We got a running quarterback over here. I know Packer fans that historically we're afraid of running quarterbacks, but this isn't the same Packers. This isn't your same Packers, bro. This isn't the same Packers defense. This defense is nasty. This defense is dangerous. This defense is going to do some work this year. Micah Parsons, what he adds to this defense is not just what he does on the field. How he's talking about he's going to lift up Van Ness. Like he's talking about like he wants everyone to be great. Van Ness is a great addition to this Packers locker room. Don't let him tell you different. Don't let him tell you about what happened in Dallas. Dallas was a trash show. It still is. So like things happen. That's why people move on. You know, he wasn't happy. There was a situation, Jerry Jones, whatever, some stuff behind the scenes we don't know about. He's in Green Bay right now. And the way that this defense started, if they can keep doing that, even at any level, whew, we're going to have some fun today, baby. We're going to have some fun this season. Lions won't sniff a Super Bowl ever. That's the thing about Lion fans. Like they just won a division, last couple of years, and they act like they're over here, on a dynasty. Hey, Matt, Pack win big tomorrow. I have spoken. It has been spoken. You know what I mean? Pass rush will feast tomorrow night. You know what I mean, Justin? Dude, I'm excited. I can't wait to see every single game what this will do. I want to get to some phone calls, and then we're going to make some picks over here. All right. So some of these phone calls I missed them on the earlier show of the week. So I think one of them is from Monday. But I want to make sure, like, when I do these calls, I want to try to get as many people as I can to get through. So far, not a lot of people are calling in, so it's easier. But be sure to call in. You know what I mean? Be sure to call in. Here is the number. Actually, right now, I'll just throw this up here because we're going to take your calls right now. We're going to do the call-in portion of the show. You know what I mean? And here we go. Here's the first one. Oh, nope, wrong button. That was not the call. I was on the wrong one. All right, here we go.
Stacy from Georgia. I just want to say Happy Victory Monday, all, and I hope the Lions are enjoying their slice of humble pie after all the trash talk. Go, Pack, go.
I appreciate that call, Stacy. You know what I mean? And I think, Lion fans did a lot of talking this offseason. They were chatty, and I still see them chatting it up over in my comment section on the different social media places, talking about, like, well, we're still better than you. Like, how can you say that, bro? That's like getting beat up by someone. Be like, dude, I can still fight better than you. Like, no, you can't. Not right now, because you lost. You lost the game. Just man up about it and just admit it and like just move on. And then they're like, well, we'll see what happens next time. Yes, we will. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the sweep to happen, baby. This is not a week one fluke, bro. The Lions lost key pieces. They ain't what they was. And the Packers are, dude, like, doesn't even seem like the same team that we've seen before. You know what I mean? Let's get some comments over here. What's up, Doug Hyde TV? Let's go, baby. I was going to give the air horn, but this is going to be a podcast. I don't want to do too much of the air horn. I feel like people in their cars, they don't need to hear the air horn. You know what I mean? Here we go. What a great week, Kevin says. Sunday and Thursday game, and got to see Bears embarrass themselves. Yeah, the Bears choked that game away. That's why Viking fans are all jacked up. I'm like, all right, your young quarterback had a, come from behind win. That's nice. But like they collapsed, bro. Like, that's just what happened. But anyways, call Matt. Go. What's up, Rev Trev in the building? Appreciate you stopping in over here. Was that your mom, Matt? No, that was not my mom, but a nice, very nice lady. You know what I mean? We're going to get to the next call over here.
Hey, Matt Rampage.
What's up?
Eric from Beach, Wisconsin. I think you remember meeting me from a Green Bay Blizzard game.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I just have one hot take with
what you got.
Packers game. If Packers beat the Commanders on Thursday, I think we start the season 4-0. Thanks. Have a good day. Go, Pack, go!
Yeah, dude, I like that, dude. I think I appreciate the call, first of all, but I think that if the Packers beat the Commanders and they beat them like convincingly, because this is a tough team, if they kind of do to them the same similarities what they did to the Lions, I think you got to be like jacked to the roof. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I expect that. I didn't give a prediction yet. I'll probably do that. I should probably do that. I'll probably make a video after this and post tomorrow. But I'll figure out my prediction. But I think it's gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna be a tough game because obviously the Washington's a good team. They're a playoff team. Jaden Daniels, everyone's talking about him like he's the next superstar quarterback in the league. He already is. And can they contain him? And Micah Parsons, I think they said something about they asked him, will you do something differently? Because running quarterbacks is next. He's like, nah. He's like, ain't no quarterback gonna run at me, bro. And I love that attitude. You know what I mean? And that's not an exact quote, but that's something like somewhere in there. And but I expect the Packers to win. And when they do, yeah, like they start the season beating the Detroit Lions. They're at home, but Lions have been handling it. They've been sweeping the Packers. They've been winning the division last 2 years. To go in there and beat them the way that they did, I don't care. Lion fans can act like it wasn't a total domination if they want. They're like, oh, the score was this or that, whatever. You had a garbage touchdown at the end. The Packers dominated that game. If they kind of do the same thing, but even if they don't, even if they win a close game against Washington, like you got to think the Packers are going to do some stuff this year. I already think it, but like that kind of proves that the Packers are really going to get after it. So let's get to comment. Rev Trev said thoughts on JJ McCarthy getting player of the week. He got NFC player of the week. I saw, I forget who was talking about this. Was it Pat McAfee or somebody? And it was like, it is weird because like his numbers aren't great, but like who in the NFC, like I saw, it was on Twitter. Wes Hodgkiss was talking about this. Shout out to Wes. And you should listen. You should read his stuff on Packers.com. But someone said he was saying like these numbers like that like don't add up or whatever. And then someone's like, who else could have won it? And he was like, I don't know. There's a certain Jordan Love character. I don't think anyone really had eye-popping numbers this year or this week. I didn't really look at every player, but yeah, it seemed weird. But I get it because he's a young quarterback. He came from behind. He won, and that is kind of like what they look for, people who like were very impactful out of the game. I heard someone was talking about that today, so I'm kind of stealing what they said. But I kind of get it. I don't really care. I don't think anyone really had like some balling out week. It was his first time as a starter. They came from behind and won, so I kind of get where they're going with that. You know what I mean? Keep Jaden Daniels from scrambling. That's exactly what it is. You have to stay in your spots. Don't get sucked in on certain things. Don't let them like be able to scramble like right or left and then just have a wide open running lane. You know what I mean? So that's what they have to do with him. That's my expert analyst. Win's a win, baby. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get to the next one. Oh yeah, all right, I got it.
Hello, my name is Tim.
What up, Tim?
And I live in the state of Florida.
Florida, you got
and
alligators.
My thing about Green Bay is, for one, I really love how Jordan Love just stays poised in the pocket.
He doesn't get rattled.
He was sacked in that game, but our wide receiving corps were nasty. Like Golden got involved. Jaden Reed was there.
I think like 8 people caught a pass.
Touchdown catch. The defense was really good. Only allowed 13 points.
They were monsters.
But dude, Micah Parsons. That is crazy.
Crazy.
I believe that when he got that one sack, it gave me chills to know that he's still there. He still got it. But overall, this Packers team looks really good. I was really excited when they beat Detroit. Josh Jacobs, he didn't really do anything, but he did it when it mattered. I'm looking forward to next week. Well, technically later on this week.
Tomorrow now.
Versus the Commanders.
Let's go.
And the only thing Green Bay has to do is pressure the quarterback. That's the key to victory.
All right, it cut him off because I think you can only leave voicemails 1 minute and 30. But yeah, like talking about the wide receivers, then we'll get to the chat. So Hammer the chat. What do you think about his comment? And then we'll get to those. But talking about the wide receivers did ball because I saw Josh Jacobs. I think it was a quote by him where he said, like they're disrespecting the wide receiver group, right? They're trying to stop Josh Jacobs and they're saying they can't beat us through the air. And the wide receivers and the tight ends and everyone stepped up because I think they said that they had like 8 people caught a pass during that game. So they were spreading the ball around. They don't have a guy they're going to force the ball to. I think the team makes the team dangerous. And like, yeah, we've said that a couple years ago. We really didn't have the people, and then it really didn't work out as well. It wasn't a couple years, I think it was last year. But now we have like a guy like Matthew Golden, all right, and who can get open. I forget his stats. He only had like 2 or 3 catches, but in his first game. But like they just spread the ball around. They give it to Romeo Dobbs. They give it to Tucker Kraft. They give it to Tucker Kraft. Got a touchdown. Tucker Kraft about to blow up this year. But like they don't force it to anyone. Get open, I'll get it to you. That's like their philosophy. And Josh Jacobs, started slow. They were shutting that thing down. But come second half, when we needed them, they started, popping some off. But like that's why this team is so dangerous. And like the thing about an offense, when you have a defense, is that when it isn't working for you, when it isn't popping off for you, you don't have to get crazy. You don't have to take crazy risks because that defense got you. So when you have a defense, dude, like the offense opens up a lot because you don't have to do like crazy stuff. Just run your offense, spread the ball around. You don't have to try to force stuff. Dude, I'm insanely happy about what we got over here with this Packers team on offense and a defense. So let's get some comments over here. Justin said Love completed a pass to 10 different receivers on Sunday. All right, so I was wrong. 10 different receivers on Sunday. Yeah, he was, if you can catch, get him in there. We're going to get him a ball. You know what I mean? Let's get to some more. Evan Williams got a pick. Also, go Pack, go. Yeah, and, pressure caused that pick. That's a beautiful thing. Parsons was talking about that. He was saying, like, the pressure got that pick, but, like, a lot of times coverage gets a sack. There's coverage sacks. So, like, this team, will work off each other. Like, it's not all about Micah Parsons. It's not all about anyone. But that pressure does help, Then they make a mistake, they throw a pick. But, like, if you got good coverage, too, like Micah Parsons, when he chased down Jared Goff, he had nowhere to go. That was a beautiful thing. I don't care how it happens. Teamwork, baby. Let's get after it. That caller reminds me of the water boy. All right. Josh Jacobs should have a better game tomorrow. We will see. And I think that I like that they kept with the run. I trust Josh Jacobs tremendous. I think Josh Jacobs is like the leader of this locker room. I think Josh Jacobs is very important, especially at the offense. Now they got Micah Parsons. He seems like, he's obviously going to be a leader. But Josh Jacobs is, fantastic to have in this football team, both on the field and off. Yeah, and I have no doubt he's going to have a fantastic season this year. The green jersey running all over the field. Every time the Lions snapped the ball was fire, dude. Absolutely, dude. It was awesome. All right, we're gonna get to a few more chats over here. Then we're gonna get to some picks over here. Chat is hammered. I appreciate you. 8 for 8 to 8 different receivers is how we open this season. Yeah, that's how it went down. All right, we get to one more. I'm a bit worried, Justin says, about the offensive line without potentially both Zach Tom and Aaron Banks. Yeah, they're both questionable, so we'll see. I kind of have a feeling that they're going to play, at least one of them, and I have no reason to believe that. Just I feel like being questionable, but we will see. But I want to get to some picks over here. We got the Ramage Pick'em League, and we're going to pick some games. I'm not sure if I'll go through them all because I'm not going to sit here and analyze every single game. You know what I mean? That's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. But we got Washington and the Packers, obviously, to start this thing off with Thursday Night Football. And I'm picking the Packers. But on the old CBS Pick'em League, they got the percentages and whatnot. 82% picked the Packers of people who use CBS, and 18% picked the Commanders, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because we kind of just talked about what needs to happen. They got to contain Daniels. Jane Daniels. I almost called him McDaniels. You know what I mean? This isn't a McDonald's, but Jane Daniels, he's a superstar. They got to contain him, and I think I have faith that the Packers are going to do that. I have faith that the Packers offense, they're going to keep this thing rolling. They're hyped up. They're jacked up. We don't need to go too crazy into that. But next we have the Browns and the Ravens. I think the Browns lose bad. The Ravens are picked by 98% of the people. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm trying to watch the chat here too if people want to chime in, but we're just going to gloss through these because I don't even like the pick 'em show that much. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I don't want to talk about other teams. I want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do. And then read the comments and what everyone's talking about the Packers. But I'm going to fly through these and try to help you. Maybe you don't know who to pick. You know what I mean? We're going to go Bengals over the Jaguars over here. The Jaguars, they're 1-0, but I don't think they're going to win that one. The Cowboys take on the Giants, and I think the Cowboys are at home, but I don't – dude, okay, so the Cowboys are 0-1. The Giants are 0-1. Everyone's picking the Cowboys, 94%. I don't know. I'm not picking the Cowboys. I'm picking the Giants on that, dude. Like I just feel like the Cowboys are gonna go through some misery just because of like all the drama that's going on around them. You know what I mean? Then we got the Bears taking on the Lions. All right, 2-0-1 teams. 89% taking the Lions. I'm taking the Lions because I don't think I will ever pick the Bears to win a football game. And the Lions got to be ticked off. They just got embarrassed by the Green Bay Packers. You know, understand the Green Bay Packers dominated them in every way that you can dominate a team. You know what I mean? I don't know if I emphasize that enough. So the Lions are going to be ticked off. They're probably going to be ready to go. Now we got the Patriots at the Dolphins. All right. So the Patriots at the Dolphins, 54% picking the Patriots. 46% picking the Dolphins, you know, both 2-0-1 teams. Who do we think is going to be better? I'm going to pick the Dolphins, even though I kind of feel like the Patriots are going to win that game, but I'm going to go Dolphins. And then we got the Niners at the Saints, you know, Niners 1-0 versus the Saints 0-1. I'm picking the Niners on that one. And, you know what I mean? All right. I'm going to get a few comments over here. Paul said, I'd take the Jags. Yeah, smarter people than me are in here. Cowboys win an ugly game. All right. So, you know, some people disagree. Here we go. We got the Bills at the Jets. I'm taking the Bills. The Bills they had a crazy win. You know, 98% of people picked the Bills. 2% picked the Jets. All Jets fans. So 2% of the people who use this platform to make picks are Jets fans. That is confirmed because no one outside of Jets fans is making those picks. You know what I mean? Then we got the Seahawks at the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers. Won a crazy game as well. I didn't watch that game. I got to watch that game yet. Because, you know, going to the game and, you know, doing the streams and whatnot, you miss a lot of football. I didn't see much of anything. Then we got the Rams at the Titans. I'm taking the Rams. 97% of the world is taking the Rams as well. Titans, dude, I feel like the Titans are a team that don't matter. The Titans are a team like that for real. Like when I see people talking about the Titans, like they don't matter. They're barely in the NFL. Like as an NFC North fan, you know, I'm a Packer fan. The Titans could not be. I couldn't care less about what happens with them. Like I don't think they're ever going to do anything. I'm sorry. I don't have no hate for them. I have no hate. There's no reason to hate them. I just think that they're kind of irrelevant in the world of sports. You know what I mean? And then we got the Panthers and at the Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals. They're 1-0. 96% of the people are taking the Cardinals, by the way. And hammer the chat. Let me know what you think, and then I'll spin back and we'll talk about everyone. Their thoughts on this. And then we got the Broncos at the Colts. Colts, another team I don't really care too much about. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take the Broncos on that one. They're both 1-0, but 64% say the Broncos. I'll side with them. You know what I mean? Then we got the Eagles Sunday 3:30 Sunday afternoon. Eagles at the Chiefs. No, 70% taking the Chiefs or the Eagles. I'm taking the Chiefs in that one, dude. I think the Super Bowl loser. You know, they come back for revenge come regular season. They felt that. But 70% taking the Eagles. Eagles are a good football team, and I'm not hating on them. I just think the Chiefs come to play. Then we got the Falcons at the Vikings. I got to take the Vikings on that one. I ain't going to lie to you. I got to take the Vikings on that one. I don't like to do that, but, you know, I'm trying to win this thing. Buccaneers, I don't want to get embarrassed. You know what I mean? I got to pick what I think. I will never pick the Bears, though. Buccaneers at the Texans. I'm taking the Buccaneers in that one. 68% agree with me. And then we have Monday Night Football, Chargers at the Raiders. And I think the Chargers win big on that one. Then we got to put a score in here for Monday Night Football. And I always, you know, in case there's a tie, I always just put like a 5-5 in that thing. I don't care. But all right, so let me get to the chat over here, see what anyone's talking about. Here we go. Don't get sweet on the Giants because you're going to New York City. You know what I mean? Might be why I try to be nice to them. Just so Giant fans are cool, you know what I mean? Donnie says all three phases showed up. Great win. Go Pack, go. Let's go. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Talking about the Packer game. What was the one like? They made a few mistakes. You know, Jordan Love almost threw a pick. There was a few mistakes, but there were so few that Packer game was just so flawless. You know, I wouldn't say flawless because there were some flaws, but it was as close as we could get. How do we do the picks? All right, if you go to CBS Sports, you go to Ramage Pick'em League. Otherwise, if you check out my social medias, I tagged it. You know, I think I did today too. But otherwise, hit me up. Message me if you're on Messenger or whatever, or comment on this thing, and I'll try to see it and find that league. Otherwise, go to CBS Sports, go to picks, pick'em, the pick leagues or whatever, and just search Ramage Pick'em League. You can get in it because you can still win. You can still beat me because I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? All right, so Cardinals will be okay until the new Call of Duty is released in November. There you go. I'm not sure I understand that reference. But the Packers they're gonna win big tomorrow. I'm gonna be down there tailgating. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna come back. I will do a game stream tomorrow. I don't plan on going to the game. I don't think that'll change. So I'm gonna do a game stream. So come hang out with me during the Packers game, and then I'll probably do a post game show after. Maybe I'll get Jimmy to come back on. If not, I'll do that thing solo. Maybe I'll get a different friend. I don't know, but I'll find out. But join me, Packers. Washington. I almost forgot who they were playing. Thursday Night Football and the post game show. I don't know. Maybe I won't do a post game. That's going to be late. I might just stay live for a while after the game and just talk about the game live. Without taking a break, or maybe take like a 5-minute break. I don't know, because I got to pee sometimes. You know what I mean? But come hang out. It's going to be a good time. Packers versus Washington. Let's show the world that it wasn't a one-time fluky thing. You know what I mean? Let's get after it. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I appreciate everyone who tuned in live. Go Pack, go. And I will give a prediction right now, because why wouldn't I give a prediction? I'm going to say 34-17 Green Bay Packers over the Washington Commanders. And I will say last week I made a prediction, and it was true. I said 17-3 halftime score when I made a video earlier in the week, and I was spot on, and it was a glorious thing, and now everyone knows how smart I am. So I'm saying 34-17 right now, but I am, for legal reasons, able to change that by tomorrow before kickoff. So 34-17 right now, I'm making my prediction, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Go Pack, go. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'm also 100,000 followers on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit up Facebook. And give me a follow. When I get to 100,000 followers on Facebook, I'll be doing a big giveaway. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe a jersey from Packer Pro Shop or just a gift card from Packer Pro Shop. I'm not sure what I'll do, but it'll be something big. Maybe I'll go to the Packer Pro Shop and buy something cool and then send it to someone. Maybe I'll do that. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'll do, but I appreciate y'all. Be sure to follow me everywhere. Go to themattramage.com. You can find all the places that I am social media wise, and we're having a good time. You know what I mean? Go Pack, go, and we are out of here, baby!
Yo, welcome to the Ramage Show. Midwest vibes, let your spirit flow.
This is a banger, man.
Hear the anthem loud.
AI made this song.
Football dreams and land of lace. Green and gold with every move we make. Fanning out under stadium lights. Feel the beat, it's electric.